Good evening and welcome back to the City of Phear. I'm your host, Brennan Jordan. Hope your week is going well for you, and if not, I hope we can provide a little bit of an escape. Before we get into it, I just want to thank all my wonderful family and friends who have shown an overwhelming amount of support since this whole thing has gotten started. I love and appreciate all of you guys. I also want to thank the folks who don't know me at all, who are taking their valuable time to give this gritty DIY horror show a shot. So I've got one story for you in this episode that I think will hit close to home for a lot of folks right now. Certainly does for me. Without further ado, I present to you Damn Porch Pirates. The city has a problem. Well, I've made it pretty clear. It's got a lot of problems. But this one I'm talking about is the drug problem. You know, heroin, fentanyl, crank, all the other soul-sucking drugs that are pretty readily available in a lot of parts of the city. While city officials and police always talk a big game about cleaning up the city, helping the individuals with addiction issues, or protecting the citizens from the crime occurring as a result, I've never seen anything of real substance come about from it. Unfortunately for me, my neighborhood and where I live is bordering a couple of the neighborhoods with the worst drug problems in the city. And so it goes that it's not uncommon to see tent encampments, panhandlers, people shooting up in the streets, and all other kinds of shenanigans on a pretty regular basis. So only a few weeks ago I saw a guy who bumps money outside a local convenience store in a wheelchair get up, walk a few feet away, pull his pants down, take a shit right in the middle of the sidewalk on a busy street corner. All this at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's weird though, for so many years, how the things that would drive a lot of folks up a wall or make them want to put their house up for sale immediately and get to the burbs just becomes part of the background scenery. One thing I'll never get used to though is the porch pirating. In this new digital age where it's all too easy to get anything and everything delivered to your front door, the folks I've been discussing figured out that a good source of drug money is to just walk or bike around the neighborhood stealing packages to pawn later on. I can't go a day or two without seeing someone in the neighborhood social media group posting videos of their packages being stolen. Like everyone else, it's happened to me a few times. Usually it's just mildly frustrating. I usually don't have too big of a problem getting a refund. Delivery drivers didn't follow the instructions I gave to drop packages over the fence, so they'll be out of sight. This last time, though, really struck a nerve. I've been waiting for almost a month to get this fancy new dart set I ordered that was being shipped from Russia. I just started playing competitively over the last year, was really getting into it, and finally decided to treat myself and upgrade from my barely usable cheap set. I spent a bit more than I usually would on myself, but I figured I put more than enough time and energy into competing and practicing that it just seemed justified. Now, I usually always try to schedule deliveries for either the weekends or days I know I'll be working from home, but I wasn't able to since this one was coming from so far away. Unfortunately, I got the delivery notification while I was away at work with a few hours to go before I could head home. I texted my neighbors to see if any were available to grab it for me, but no luck there. So it was no surprise to me that as I walked home from my bus stop about halfway to my house, I saw a ripped open package on the ground with no contents inside. But of course, there's my address on the label. God damn it. I already had a pretty rough day, and this was just the shit icing on the shit cake. When I got to my house and I sat on my steps, I looked through the history of my doorbell camera. Without fail, I saw some unkempt dude with bad neck tattoos stumble up to my doorstep, pluck the package right off while casually walking down the street. Happened just 20 minutes after it was dropped off, so he's long gone. No sense in going on an angry patrol around the neighborhood trying to find and confront the asshole. Now, given that this wasn't the first time this happened to me, I was a little surprised at just how heated I actually felt. I was really looking forward to throwing with some hopefully good darts to ease the stress of that already tough day. I went in the house, said hello to the kiddies, gave them their dinner, then grabbed a beer and went upstairs to my office. I keep a dartboard up there to practice in between my league matches. Usually it calms me down. Acts as a great stress reliever and mindfulness activity. Not tonight though. My throws weren't hitting anywhere close to where I was aiming, and it didn't get any better even after warming up some. Well, after about 30 minutes, I gave up on it. cursing at myself, cursing at my darts, and cursing at the fact that I should have had a new set to practice with. Figured this was just going to be one of those grumpy nights. Until I got a good night's sleep, I could just put this all behind me. Instead of distracting myself or using healthy habits, I just kind of leaned into it. Had a few more beers, and I just kept rewatching the video of this guy stealing my package off my step. Some violent revenge fantasies went through my head of catching the guy in the act and using that as an excuse to beat his ass, but they were fleeting. Almost always pretty non-violent, and while I'm pretty confident I could take a guy who's been strung out for weeks, I'm not really that much of a tough guy. While sitting on the couch, downing the rest of my beer, I did remember something I saw in the comments a while back from the videos of other Porch pirates that made me smile. Someone had said, "Fill a fake package with dog poo or kitty litter. That'll give them a surprise." That would be great. They'd probably just open it, dump it out right outside of my house, and then I'd have to clean that mess up, but it'd be worth it to get that video. Most likely wouldn't even be the same guy, but honestly, fuck all the Porch pirates around here. Crushed my beer can and went to toss it in the recycling out back, knowing I'd recently put out the perfect box for this. Found it, eureka. Grabbed it up, went inside, filled it with cat shit and lumps of litter from the box. For a second, I worried my neighbors might grab it to, either save it or bring it in for me, but it was probably too late at night for that. And besides, they wouldn't open it. I sealed the box up real good with clear mailing tape that I had. Voila. Opened my front door, took a quick look down the street to both sides, looked empty for now, as I placed the package in clear view on my front step. As dumb and childish as this was, it actually got me chuckling as I walked back inside and finally actually got me to calm down some. I figured I wouldn't be lucky enough to catch someone in the act, and I wasn't so obsessed I was gonna sit up on my phone watching the camera video live all night. So I had one more beer, took a shower, got comfy, and drifted off to sleep, listening to some Drew Blood's Dark Tales and some Scary to Sleep. I actually got a pretty good night's sleep. Folks are always surprised when I tell them I regularly fall asleep to horror podcasts. My half joke, half truth is that anything I'm listening to is always less scary than what my ADHD mind does in silence. Well, I go through my normal morning routine. Feed Finn and Toaster, let them outside while I put a pot of coffee on, throw on something stupid on my TV. Be a bum on the couch while playing some, phone games before hopping in the shower. Well, in the shower, I actually remembered what I did the night before, hurried myself up, dried up, got dressed, and ran downstairs to see if the bait had been taken. Opened the front door, and the package was front and center on my front step. It was open and empty, though. Saw a small note inside. Looked around and didn't see any litter or crap or anything on the sidewalk in front of my house. I picked up the box and reached for the note inside. Just a small scrap of paper with brownish red writing on it that said, "Thank you. More, please." It looked like it was written by a toddler. It was a little misspelled and kind of looked like it was written in blood. Ugh. Well, that's not what I expected. Rubbed my temples and walked back inside. Collapsing on the couch, I opened up the app in my phone to review the doorbell camera video from the night before. I passed out just a little after midnight. Hadn't heard anything to that point. Nothing but a few people walking by the house, ignoring the package from about 1 to 2. Probably just folks leaving the local bars. 2:30, everything cut off. Seems my camera battery ran out. And I do have a pretty bad habit of letting it go until it's dead before I remember charging it. Damn it, though. Of course, horrible timing. Well, so seems some piece of shit porch pirate tried to steal my package, got pranked, and after being pissed about it, tried to prank me back. I mean, what else is this? I didn't know quite how to feel, whether to consider this a win or not. At least I didn't have to clean up any of the litter dumped outside my house. Went about the rest of my day, went to work, had my sessions, went back home, and honestly forgot about most of the thing. Till later that night, though. Went to the bar after work, had a few drinks with my friends, went home, made dinner, did some laundry, and hit the sheets after some TV. Nothing too out of the ordinary. I right around 3 in the morning, woke up to a loud knocking on my front door. Damn near jumped out of the bed. I scared the shit out of my cats who had been sleeping at my feet. I grabbed my phone, saw the time, then I grabbed the baseball bat I keep under my bed. I half awake, half asleep, stumbled down the stairs while checking my phone app for the outside camera. Fuck, it's off. Still in my house charging. I forgot to put it back outside. I throw my phone in the couch and throw my front door open, baseball bat cocked. But it's a quiet, empty street. I look up and down the block and nothing. It's eerily quiet. In bare feet and boxer shorts, in the cold night air, step outside and walk up the block to the corner to look around to see if, there's some dumb kids or some asshole junkie hiding or anything. But nothing. Bad dream, maybe? I don't know. Walk back to my house, and when I get to the front, I see a small slip of torn paper on my front step. I must have missed it in all my rushing, and it had the same red writing on it as the other one. Had the same message, basically. More, please. Oh, God. Honestly, I just can't deal with this right now. Picked up the note, walked inside, threw it on the ground. Took a few steps up the stairs and remembered, oh, shit, just in case. Went back down and took my doorbell camera off of the charger and put it back outside. Locked up tight, went back to sleep. That's weird and not really the result I was hoping for. Oh well. I hope whoever it was, even if they were trying to play a practical joke back, were at least pretty upset when they saw their score from the litter package. A few days went by, and honestly, I mostly had forgotten about the whole ordeal until I was woken up in the middle of the night again. Same thing, loud banging on the door in the early morning hours. This time when I shot up out of bed, I looked out my bedroom window overlooking the street in front of my house. It was dark and it's a bad angle to see anyone right at the front door as it's one story directly below the window. I saw someone outside, a blur of a figure. Shit, I didn't grab my glasses and I'm almost blind without my contacts or glasses. I dive across my bed and grab them from the corner, rush back to the window. I can see clearly, but it's still dark. I saw some figure, really short, childlike and in dark clothing, rush around the corner of the street. I open up the doorbell cam app on my phone. It didn't register or record anything. Last video was from a couple hours ago. Looked like a drunk couple staggering home from the bars. My adrenaline's going a little too hard to get right back to sleep at this point. Walk downstairs, make myself a cup of tea. Then I go out to sit on the front step and smoke a cigarette. I'm trying to calm down, but I'm on pretty high alert, scanning up and down the street, especially around the corner I saw the short figure disappear to. Feel like I'm being watched, but at this point it's probably just some paranoia from, everything that just happened. Finish my cigarette. When I get up to go back inside, I notice writing on my front door. Same style as the note I received before, with one word which simply says, more. It looked and smelled like it was written in blood. It was reddish brown, had a bit of that coppery, metallic smell to it. It came off pretty quick and easy with a sponge and some soap. By the time I was done cleaning, my nerves had finally calmed down, and I was ready to go back in and try to get some sleep. I didn't sleep well, and woke up pretty angry about the situation. Lucky for me, it was a Thursday. I worked from home, seeing virtual appointments later in the day on Fridays, so I could afford to stay up a little later as I had the day before. They want more? Okay, I'll give them more. Maybe get a look at the culprit. Once I was done work, I double-checked my doorbell cam to make sure it was in working condition, put up the sensitivity to trigger on any movement close to my front door, and filled up another cardboard box with used kitty litter scoops. It was still early, so I waited. A little before midnight, I put on a pot of coffee and left the box outside. As I sat drinking the coffee and occasionally watching the live feeds on my camera, the time just slowly ticked by. It was getting late as I checked the time on my phone and it read 2:23 a.m. The coffee could only do so much, but I was determined at this point, at least for a little while longer. Started feeling my contacts dry out in my eyes, and I went upstairs to the bathroom to take them out and put my glasses on. Right as I started brushing my teeth afterwards, I got an alert on my phone. It's activity at the front door. I ran into my bedroom and quietly pushed the curtains away to look down below. I saw what looked like a tall, lanky man standing in front of my doorstep, looking around suspiciously. He looked up and down the street to check if anyone was watching or coming. After he was sure there wasn't anyone around, stepped up on my front step and scooped up the package. No, this can't be the guy. Right as I was about to run downstairs to open up the door and confront him, I heard a sound that sounded like it was coming from down the street. The man looked as startled as me and turned to look down the street away from the close corner I live on. All of a sudden, I saw 3 small figures that couldn't have been much larger than 3 feet tall, in all black clothing and black hoodies, rush him. It looked like a sped up video as I saw them jump on him, knock him to the ground. It looked like they were biting him. I saw blood spurt out from his neck and abdomen, and while it was hard to see exactly what was happening, it looked like they carried him and the package away, around the same corner I had seen the figure disappear around before. It was all over in probably just like 15 to 20 seconds. I'd seen a lot of blood spatter as it was going on, but I didn't see any left on the sidewalk outside as I sit watching from the window above. Oh, holy shit. What the hell? I opened back up my phone app for the camera, and once again, no video taken of the event I just saw. Alright, these things gotta be something otherworldly. That would explain the tech issues. I grab a knife, throw it in my pocket, grab the baseball bat, I run downstairs. I open up the front door and take a look around. I don't see or hear anything. Complete silence. I look closely at the sidewalk around below my front steps, and there's no blood at all. There's no trash. There's no sign of anything I just saw. Sounds like that's coming from my backyard. I run back inside. I slam the front door shut. I lock it, then go run to the back door. I open it up, run outside. Just as I do, of course, both my cats, Finn and Toaster, book it past my ankles. They run outside and jump over the fence, and I can't see them as they jump down in the alley in the neighbor's yard. Fuck, that's the last thing I need right now. I jump up on a chair by the fence to get a look over. I don't see the cats or anything else. I have some raised wooden garden planters along 2 of the 3 fences. I hop on one, which will give me the best view. I call to the cats a few times. Finn, Toaster, come on. You want some treats? That usually works. I feel something move behind me and hear a noise like something hit my back screen door. I turn around and I see it swinging open. Oh shit. I didn't close that when I came out. Hopefully that was just one of the cats. I rush back inside, and all of a sudden, all the power goes off in the house, and it's pitch black. As I stand in the doorway, I start hearing the sound I heard earlier. I take a step back into the backyard, clutching onto the baseball bat, and I don't know what I'm thinking right now. I take a quick look around. What if one of the cats are in there with those things? So I take a few steps inside. I wait for about a minute to let my eyes adjust, the best they can in the darkness. Then I hear the sounds coming from upstairs. I slowly start to move through the house. I gotta feel my way around a bit. I go to turn the flashlight on my phone, but my phone won't turn on. Now, I know my house very well, but I still gotta feel my way around. It's so dark. I move through the kitchen, the living room, to the stairs that lead where I can hear the sound. It's stopping, it's starting, it's going off and on. It sounds like there might be more than just one person or one thing or whatever it is that's up there. I start up the stairs, I continue up, and I'm about halfway up. I stop and listen. Nothing. I hear him meowing coming from downstairs. It sounds like Finn. Oh, good. He's coming back inside. Well, I don't know if that's good right now. I take a few more steps upwards, and I instantly see 2 of some type of dark blur rush past me. They knock into my left side, sweeping me off my feet, and I tumble down the stairs and land hard on my right ankle, twisting it. Oh, God. Fuck. Ouch. Oh, God. It hurts like a bitch, and I'm sitting and grabbing onto my throbbing ankle while I hear the chattering sound coming now, it sounds like from downstairs, now the basement. I see a shadowy cat come to me, and as he gets closer, I can see that it is Finn. He nuzzles up against me. Finn rushes upstairs as I try to get to my feet, and I feel my ankle buckle under me. I fall back down on my knee. Oh, fuck, that hurts. Oh, God, I hope I didn't break it. I crawl a few feet forward on my hands and knees towards the door to the basement. My eyes have mostly adjusted, but it's still hard to really see anything other than just kind of some shapes. And the sounds start to sound like they're coming closer and closer. I thought I saw a blur rush past me at the same time I heard the slam of my back screen door. After about 5 seconds, all the lights turned back on. I could see through the living room and the kitchen to the back door. It's still swinging open. Everything was silent at that point. I staggered to my feet, trying to keep all of my weight on my left foot while holding myself against the wall. My cat Toaster came running through the back door. As quickly as I could, I hobbled over. I shut the door. I locked it, then did the same. I ran back to my front door to make sure that it was locked. I did lock it before it was locked. I sat on the arm of my couch, and I stayed as quiet as I could, listening to see if anything was still in the house. After about 5 to 10 minutes of no noise, seeing my cat circle around me, not responding to anything, I was pretty sure that the house was empty, except for us. I walked to the basement where I had heard the noises, this time using the baseball bat as a sort of crutch, trying to take the pressure off of my right foot. I had to butt scoot down the stairs, it was hurting so bad. I took a look around and everything seemed clear. Then I noticed the one difference. The cat's litter box was gone. I climbed on all fours back up the steps, crawled to the couch, and sat there just thinking about all the events of the night until I just passed out from, exhaustion and pain. Good time passed since that night. I'm ashamed to say, I lost 2 more litter boxes in the same fashion before I started putting out weekly tributes. That seemed to stop them from coming into my house. It also seemed to decrease the frequency of actual porch pirating in my neighborhood. What can I say? Do my part when I can. Well, folks, there you have it. Protect your packages. When in doubt, make sure to put some boxes of used kitty litter out. Hope you enjoyed tonight's story. Next episode, I'll be diving back into the private practice horror stories. So if you haven't checked out the first episode, you should go back and do that just to get a taste. For everyone out there, I hope you're thriving. And if not, at least you're surviving, and some days that's more than enough to deserve giving yourself a big pat on the back. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.